Happy New Year everyone, Genki here, and today we're going to try and beat Pokemon Scarlet with only Dipplin. Dipplin is the new evolution of Applin introduced in the Scarlet Violet DLC, the Teal Mask. It has a 485 base stat total, and upon first look, its 110 base defense sticks out, but so does its 40 base speed. 95 base special attack versus 80 attack means we'll be looking at more of a special set, but we can do a mixed set if needed. 80 base HP pairs well with our defense, but we'll need to take note that our 80 base special defense means we'll take more damage from special moves, like Blizzard, which will do 4 times damage. Oh, and just to say it now, if y'all want, I can do a Hydrapple video, but at the current moment, Hydrapple will not be on the channel for a long time. By level up, Dipplin gets access to a bunch of grass and dragon moves. Thankfully, our first special move comes at level 12. That gives me hope, considering Appleton's first special move wasn't until level 28. Dipplin also gets access to growth at level 8. We get a setup move before the first gym. That is going to help a bunch. Also, we get recover, a setup move, and a healing move. Now, this might seem like it'll be easy, but don't forget, Grass Dragon has a lot of weaknesses. By TM, we can get a lot of Dipplin's late game moves early. Also, we get more Grass and Dragon attacks, but I don't know if I'll use any of them, except for maybe Giga Drain. Let's go over the rules. I can only use Dipplin in battle. No items in battle, only held items outside of combat are allowed. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's begin. We started the challenge at the first Poke Center, where I traded myself a Dipplin. I named her Caramel, because Dipplin's shiny looks like a caramel apple. She's Dragon Terra, which is the better of the two options, and Calm Nature. That means less attack, more special defense. Her ability is Super Sweet Syrup, which lowers the opposing Pokemon's evasiveness when Dipplin enters the battle. I don't think we'll be using any lower accuracy moves this playthrough though. At level 1, Caramel only has Astonish and Double Hit, so I trained her up to level 9 before challenging Nemona. We now have Dragon Tail, which Sprigatito survived at above half health. It also force switched Sprigatito into Palmy. Palmy immediately terrestrialized, but Caramel doubles resist electric, and Palmy will only use Thundershock, which does 2 HP. Dragon Tail then did 2/3 of Palmy's health before switching Palmy for Sprigatito, who survived a second Dragon Tail and red health. Both of Nemona's team members went down to 1 more Dragon Tail each. On to the first gym. Katie uses Bug-type Pokemon, so I immediately terrestrialized Caramel to get River Grass typing, and power up Dragon Breath, which one-shot Nimble. Tarantula survived Dragon Breath and got paralyzed, but we still took some damage from Bug Bite. With Tarantula surviving the hit, I decided to have Caramel set up 1 growth before finishing it off. Last is Teddiursa. It went first and used Fury Cutter, which did a good chunk of damage. It also survived Dragon Breath on a 3rd. This allowed it to use a second Fury Cutter, taking Caramel to 12 HP before going down to a second Dragon Breath. With this, we can now head east to Mezagoza, where we take on our first Titan, Cloth. Without terrestrializing, Dragon Breath did a 3rd, so I had Caramel terrestrialize the next turn, but then Cloth survived the attack on the Sliver. Don't forget, Titans cannot be defeated on their first phase. This means Cloth's Anger Shell activated. It already outsped, but it decided to use its weaker move Rock Smash before going down. On to phase 2. I decided not to heal, which might have not been a good decision, as Cloth attacked Caramel first with Rock Smash, getting into defense drop. Dragon Breath then did like a 5th. However, as Cloth went for Rock Tomb on Arvin's Shelter, our next Dragon Breath took Cloth to a half health, activating Anger Shell. The attack boost allowed Cloth's Rock Tomb to take Shelter to 2 HP, as our Dragon Breath took Cloth to red health. It then went down to Shelter's Water Gun. Let's keep heading east, so we can take on the Grass Gym. As a Grass Dragon type, Caramel double resist Grass. This allows us to safely set up growth against Petalil, before terrestrializing and crit one-shotting it, Scarlet was also a one-shot, so it lasted to the Widow, who survived Dragon Breath and red health. Its rock throw didn't do that much damage, so it easily went down the next turn. Let's now head back west, where we can summon a floating platform on top of a bridge. I mean, face our second Titan Bombardier. I had Caramel immediately terrestrialize to get rid of her flying weakness. Bombardier though just went for rock throw. Dragon Breath did over a third, so I had Caramel set up a growth, which allowed her next Dragon Breath to finish off phase 1 Bombardier. We now have to face phase 2 with only 19 HP though. We again terrestrialized first turn, but this time, as Bombardier used Torment on Arvin's Nocli, we set up growth. Nocli's rock throw then did a fifth. The next turn, Bombardier went for Pluck on Nocli, so we were able to safely use Dragon Breath, which took Bombardier to a quarter, causing it to go down to Nocli's smackdown. Off to our first team star base. The Dark Base. First out was Pawnyard, and this is looking bad. Super Sweet Syrup activated Pawnyard's Defiant, and Pawnyard resisted all of our attacks. Also, thanks to the attack boost, its Metal Claw hits hard. I decided to get Caramel up to level 28 to learn Syrup Bomb. Pawnyard went first, and its Aerial Ace did a third, as our Syrup Bomb did half of Pawnyard's health. The speed drop activated Defiant, but Caramel now outsped, so Pawnyard went down. Last is the Starmobile. It went for Metal Sound, lowering Caramel's special defense, as we went for Syrup Bomb, which did a quarter. The speed drop was not enough to outspeed though, so we got hit with another Metal Sound, as a Terror Twisted Dragon Breath took the Starmobile to a third. The Starmobile then went for Snarl, but it only took Caramel to just below half, as Dragon Breath took the Starmobile to red health. The Starmobile's next Snarl left Caramel only 3 HP, but one more Dragon Breath finished off the Snarmobile. This means we now have to head back east, to face our next Nomona battle. Rockruff and Pommy were both one-shots with Syrup Bomb, so last is Floragato. Floragato resists Syrup Bomb, so I had Caramel terrestrialize. Floragato went first though, but only used Home Claws, as Dragon Breath took it to a quarter. It also got the Paralysis. This allowed Caramel to outspeed the next turn and take out Floragato. Time for the Electric Gem. Walter went first, but its super effective Pluck didn't do that much, as we set up growth. It was a one-shot of Dragon Breath. Luxio was next, and we terrestrialized, but Luxio was getting amazing flinch look with Bite, before finally getting one-shot by Dragon Breath. Billy Butt was a 2 KO, so all that was left is Mismagius. Mismagius went first and used Confuse Ray, though Caramel did not hit herself, as Dragon Breath did half of Mismagius' health. Mismagius then went for Hex, which Caramel survived on 6 HP. She also did not hit herself, so one more Dragon Breath finished off Mismagius. On to our next Titan, Earthworm. Earthworm went first, and missed its Iron Tail, as we set up growth. It then hit its Iron Tail the next turn, as Syrup Bomb did a third. This allowed Caramel to outspeed, and do another third with Dragon Breath. Earthworm's Iron Tail was also doing a third, but since Caramel went first, Earthworm went down first. On to phase 2. Arvin's Toadskull was immediately one-shot by Iron Tail, as we set up growth. Earthworm then set up Sandstorm, as Syrup Bomb did a quarter. Terry Boosted Dragon Breath did took Earthworm to half health, but it only went for Wrap. This allowed us to safely take out Earthworm with 2 more hits. With Caramel now at level 30, I feel she is safe now to take on the Team Star Firebase. Against Torkoal, we set up a growth, which thanks to Drought, gave Caramel +2 in special attack. I decided to get another growth, hoping Torkoal would not go for Clear Smog, but it used Flame Wheel, so it was an easy one-shot. Last is Melee Starmobile. It outsped, but its overheat did almost nothing. It was 2 KO. That was the easiest melee battle I had had in a while. Off to the Water Gym. Veluza and Wolf Trio were both one-shots. They both outsped Caramel though, so she was at almost half health for Kofu's ace, Ground Roll, who survived Syrup Bomb with a quarter, allowing me to do good damage with Slam. However, it went down to one more Syrup Bomb. With a bunch of first try victories, it's straight to the normal gym. Kamala outsped, but it missed its slam as we set up growth. It then went for yawn as we set up a second growth. The next turn, it went for slam, which this time landed, and did a lot of damage, as we went for dragon pulse, which Kamala survived, despite being +2. We then fell asleep, but we had a chest to bury. However, that just made Kamala go for a second yawn as we took it out. Next is the Dunsparce, who survived Dragon Pulse and took out Caramel with 2 Hyper Drills. Well, that was expected. For the battle, I replaced Syrup Bomb with Withdrawal, and gave Caramel leftovers. We started by spamming Withdrawal, as Kamala used Yawn and Slam. We kept going until Caramel was at +5 defense, before switching to Growth. We did sometimes use Protect to get some extra health back, but we were still at just below half health when we finally one-shot Kamala with a +3 Dragon Pulse. Against the Dunsparce, I discovered Hyper Drill bypasses Protect, but we took the hit well. The Dunsparce was a one-shot, so it lasted Staraptor. Its Facade did little damage thanks to our defense, so it was an easy one-shot. With 5 badges, we're immediately put into a Nemona battle. This means we have no grass move for Lycanroc, who outsped and did 20 HP with Bite, as we set up Withdrawal. We switched between Protect for Leftovers Recovery and set in Withdrawal and Growth, until Caramel was at +2 in defense and special attack. We then Terrasalized and went for Dragon Pulse, which one-shot Lycanroc. Gumi and Pommel were also both one-shots, so it lasted Masquerada, who outsped and did some damage with Slash. It then survived Dragon Pulse on the Literal Sliver, though it just went for Slash again, so it went down. With us this far in the story, it feels like it's time to face the Team Star Poison base. With no setup, Skuntank survived Dragon Pulse with a quarter. It also outspeeds, so we got poisoned by Toxic before taking it out. We set up a Growth against Muck, but it was still 2 KO. We did have Recover now, but the poison buildup was too much. Okay, at this point, we never really did any stat grinding, so I decided to buy some Calcium to boost Caramel's special attack. But it was still not enough. Skuntank was now a one-shot with a +1 Dragon Pulse, but Muck was still a 2-shot. We need to outspeed Skuntank, and the best way to do that is to grind our Rookies. So I did this for 12 straight minutes with the Power Anklet. The Power Anklet makes it so that every Pokemon that gives Speed EVs gives 8 EVs each. This allowed Caramel to outspeed and one-shot Skuntank at level 42 with 0 setup. We can now safely set up 2 Growths against Muck before one-shotting it. Room still outspec Caramel, but it was a one-shot, so all that's left is Atticus the Starmobile. It went for Noxious Torque, leaving Caramel at below a quarter, as our Dragon Pulse took the Starmobile to a quarter. Its next Noxious Torque then left Caramel on 10 HP, but it went down to 1 more Dragon Pulse. On to our next Titan, Grey Tusk. On to the Ghost Gym. We Terrasilize first turn instead of Growth. Terrasilizing gives Caramel an Omni Boost from the crowd, so she was not at +2 special attack. Banette, Poundstone, and Toxicity were all one-shots, so all that's left is Mimikyu, who is a 2 KO because of Disguise. With 6 badges, we have another Nemona battle. As per usual, her Lycanroc was being annoying with Sand Attack, so I had to buy the Clear Amulet. The Clear Amulet negates stat drops. However, on this attempt, Lycanroc just decided to only use Rock Slide, so Caramel was at half health when she took out Lycanroc with a +1 Energy Ball. Sliggoo was a one-shot Dragon Pulse. Pawmot went for a Quick Attack, since Caramel double resist Electric, so it was an easy one-shot. And all that is left is Masquerada, which again went for Slash, which this time is more dangerous, since Caramel was in yellow health. It survived Dragon Pulse with a quarter, so it was able to get off another Slash, which left Caramel on 1 HP as we finished it off. Time for the Psychic Gym. Against Farigiraf, we set up 4 Growths, as Farigiraf set up Reflect, and at a third Caramel's health was in Headbutt. It was a one-shot Dragon Pulse. Gardevoir is next. and it was a one-shot with Energy Ball. Its Spather outsped and did a good chunk of damage with Psychic, but was one-shot by a Terra Booster Dragon Pulse. Last is Forges, who was a one-shot with Dragon Pulse. One gym left. Time for the Ice Gym. Against Frostmoth, we immediately terrestrialized, so that Ice moves only did 2 times damage and not 4 times damage. With zero setup, Frostmoth survived Dragon Pulse, but it missed its Blizzard, so it was an easy 2 KO. Against Beardick, we set up a Growth, as Icicle Crash took Caramel to half health. Beardick and Titan were both one-shots with Dragon Pulse. Altaria survived Dragon Pulse, but Caramel had gained so much health from leftovers that it survived Altaria's own Dragon Pulse with yellow health. Altaria went down the next turn. With the gyms done, let's take on our last Titan. Dondozo was 2k with Energy Ball. For phase 2, we still went straight for Energy Ball, since Dondozo was still 2KO. Onto Tatsugiri. Grass is neutral, so I had Caramel terrestrialize and go for Dragon Pulse, which did a third. Tatsugiri for some reason used its resisted Muddy Water twice, so even though it went for Icy Wind the third turn, it was too late. 3 Dragon Pulses took out Tatsugiri. On to the last Team Star bases, starting with the Fighting base. Ooh, Shiny Scyther. Anywho, Toxicroak's Poison Jab did a quarter, and immediately poisoned Caramel. It was a one-shot from the +1 Dragon Pulse. However, next is Lucario, and it outsped, taking out Caramel with its own Dragon Pulse. Caramel was above level 50, so I decided to have her do Hyper Training, to boost her HP and speed, because her special attack was already maxed out since she was bred using a Ditto. We battled Airy again at level 68. As I had Caramel set up Growth, Toxicroak went for Poison Jab, which did a third, because I forgot to terrestrialize Caramel. Thankfully, it didn't get the poison. Also, we had leftovers equipped. We took out the Toxicroak the next turn, so next is Lucario, who we now outsped. It survived Dragon Pulse and Red Health, but we were still in green health after its Dragon Pulse, so we used this opportunity to set up a second Growth before taking out Lucario. Annihilate still outsped Caramel and went for Ice Punch, which took Caramel to a quarter. It was thankfully a one-shot, as was Passimian. Last is Airy Starmobile. It went first to use Combat Torque, but it didn't do that much. It did get the paralysis, but our Dragon Pulse took the Starmobile straight to red health. It then for some reason went for Shift Gear, so it went down. Last is the Fairy Base. We started by setting up Growth, as Azumarill did a throw with Play Rough. I decided to risk it and have Caramel set up a second Growth, as Play Rough took her to a third. Azumarill was a one-shot with Energy Ball, as was Wigglytuff. Thanks to protecting leftovers, Caramel was back at 2/3 health for Dash Bun, so I decided to have her set up a third Growth, as Dash Bun went for its own Play Rough. It was a one-shot the next turn though. Last is Ortega Starmobile, who did some damage with Steel Roller, but then Energy Ball took it straight to red health. The Starmobile then went for Confuse Ray, but it was pointless. Caramel did not hit herself, and finished off the Starmobile. Time for Elite 4. Against Wishcash, we terrestrialized the set of Growth, as its Blizzard did a third. It was another one-shot with Energy Ball. Donphan though survived the Energy Ball thanks to Sturdy. This allowed to go for Earthquake, taking Caramel to a third. It went down the next turn. Next is Dugtrio, who outsped and went for Sandstorm, but it was a one-shot. Caramel was a one-shot with Dragon Pulse, so all that's left is Cloudsire, who was a one-shot with Energy Ball. Next is Poppy, and her team resists all of our moves. Against Camparaja, we set up Growth, as it did a third with Heavy Slam. As we went for a second Growth, Play Rough then took Caramel to a quarter. Thankfully we had leftovers. We also had Recover, but Play Rough was just too strong. Luckily, as we went for a third Growth, Camparaja used Heavy Slam, leaving Caramel in red health. It was a one-shot with Dragon Pulse, as was Corviknight. Bronzong survived Dragon Pulse, but its Sin Headbutt didn't do that much damage. So we used this time to use Recover, and set up one more Growth before finishing it off. Magnezone survived Dragon Pulse thanks to Sturdy, and set up Light Screen. It went down the next turn, but lasted Tinkaton, who, thanks to Light Screen, survived Dragon Pulse and Green Health. We only had one power point of Dragon Pulse left, so I tried to stall out the Light Screen and set up more growths, but I think that led to our downfall. I got Caramel up 10 levels to level 81 before trying Poppy again. Caprage's Heavy Slam now did a quarter, so we were able to safely set up 3 growths without using Recover or Protect. Ace Player though then took Caramel to red health. This caused us to go for Recover, but we took out Caprage in the next turn. Corvette was still a one-shot, but during Bronzong, we set up the rest of our growths, making our special attack +6, and using a Recover. Bronzong was a one-shot. Magnezone, of course, still set up Light Screen, but this time, we got a crit against Tinkaton, making our setup potentially overkill. Next up in Elite 4 is Larry. Against Tropius, we set up a growth, as Tropius went for Sunny Day. This allowed Tropius to go first, and do a quarter with Air Slash, as our second growth brought us to +3 thanks to Sunny Day. I then had Caramel Terrasilize, lowering the damage of Air Slash as Dragon Pulse one-shot Tropius. It also one-shot Altaria, Staraptor, Orkoyo, and Flamigo. Last of the 4 is Hassel. Norvern of course went first, and went for Super Fang, but it was a one-shot, as was the rest of Hassel's team. Time for Gita. We immediately Terrasilize against Espathra, who did a 5th of Dazzling Gleam, but was a one-shot with Dragon Pulse. Next is Go-Go, and we used this time to step growth, as it went for Play Rough. It was a one-shot, as was the remaining members of Gita's team. This means next is our final battle with Nemona. Against Lycanroc, we set up 2 growths, as it went for Stone Edge, which did the 5th with each hit. It only landed twice, before we took out Lycanroc with Energy Ball. I got rid of Recover by the way. Goodra was a one-shot Dragon Pulse, as was the Dunsparce. Palmat did some damage with Double Shock, but it was a one-shot, and so was Earthworm. Last is Meowscarada, who outsped and went for Play Rough, leaving Caramel in red health, but it was a one-shot. That's one story done. Next is Clavel. We set up 2 growths against Oranguru, who got Caramel to almost half level with 2 foul plays. However, Clavel's team was a one-shot sweep. Time for Penny. We started by setting up 2 growths against Umbreon, who could only do chip damage on Caramel. Penny's team was a one-shot sweep, until Sylveon, who survived Energy Ball in red health. It then took Caramel in red health with Moonblast, but went down the next turn. 2 stories done, last is Arven. We set up 2 growths against Greta, who, like Umbreon, could only do chip damage. It did get the paralysis with Body Slam, but added Cherry Berry ready just in case. Arven's team was also a one-shot sweep. Despite these last battles being easy, I don't want to let my guard down, because we now have to go to Area 0 to face Asada. Against Slitherwing, we Terrasilize to lower the damage of its bug moves, instead of growth. It then went for low sweep, I guess because we outsped. Well, now Slitherwing outsped, and its lunge did more damage than low sweep as we set up a second growth. It was a one-shot Dragon Pulse. Next is Screamtail, who outsped and did big damage with Play Rough, but was a one-shot. Groupon was slower than Caramel, so it was a quick one-shot. Sandy Shocks did some damage with Earth Power, but it was also a one-shot. However, next is Fluttermane, who went for Shadow Ball? Okay, so apparently Sawdust Fluttermane has no fairy moves. It was a one-shot, but last is Roaring Moon, who of course went first and finished off Caramel with Dragon Claw. I tried this battle multiple times with different movesets, eventually deciding on a moveset of Energy Ball, Growth, Recover, and Withdrawal. Against Slitherwing, we set up a full 6 withdrawals and a full 6 growths, going for Recover in between. This was potentially overkill, but I didn't care at this point. At one point, Slitherwing was locked in the low sweep, because our Clear Amulet was negating its speed drop. It went down after we set up our final growth. Screamtail without the speed drop Still outsped Caramel, but it could barely hurt her. Sandy Shocks was now slower than Caramel. Flare Mane, of course, also still outsped, and it took Caramel to 2/3 HP, but this just meant we were still in great health for Roaring Moon. We went for a Night Slash, hoping for the crit, but it did barely any damage, as Energy Ball one-shot. We beat Pokemon Scarlet with only Dipplin. Thank you to everyone who watched this video, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.